Yeah, well, we're not wearing the same clothes for this Q&A, are we, NJ?
No, not.
No, we recorded this on a different day, didn't we?
We did indeed.
Yeah, anyway, welcome back, YouTubers, to another Q&A with us, the British Fist.
Ka-ching.
The video where we answer the questions you guys sent in to us. I am Mr. Parkin with my V-neck shirt, and I do have chest hair. And this guy sitting next to me, bobbing his head, it's none other than NJ.
What's up?
What's up indeed? What's up to you people out there too? Subscribe up above, like this video, and comment your thoughts and other shizzle down in the comment section below about the questions and answers we give.
And make sure you contact us in the link in the description box below.
Yes, I know I say this every Q&A, but make sure you keep sending us your questions. All the links that you need will be in that description box below. And, you know, keep sending us your questions because we do want to keep these Q&As going. Thank you for all the people that have sent in their Q&A questions to us. And, yeah, and please be patient. If your question hasn't been answered in this video, it will be answered in a future video. So there we go. Usually it takes us about a minute to do these reviews. So, to do these introductions, I should say. So let's just go on to the Q&As. Let's just go. Come on. Let's just go. Stop doing an intro. John Leslie Reed sent us both individual questions. Ooh, this is interesting. NJ, do you think Cody Rhodes deserved to be the only the third man to hold both the IC and World title at the same time? Ultimate Warrior and Triple H being the first two. I really want to answer this myself.
We may have to switch questions over. That might help.
Go, I'll shut my mouth.
My thought of this is that Cody Rhodes, again, all wrestlers who are not in the main event yet, they need something that's going to give them a big push in the WWE. So for him to maybe get the opportunity to be the next wrestler to hold both titles would be a big thing for him. But I think maybe not just yet. Keep building him up because he needs these big matches, wins, and then eventually get the shot at holding them both. Just my thought.
Oh, good answer, NJ. My lips are a bit dry though. And yeah, also, I got asked a question too. Dan, do you think John Cena's Dr. Thugonomics gimmick would have worked had it been in the Attitude Era? Well, to be honest with you, I'm glad that you're not answering this because you'll probably go into a massive rant. All I'll say this is the Dr. Thugonomics gimmick was a quite interesting gimmick, I would say, with the whole rapping thing. I just don't think, I'm not sure it would have worked in the Attitude Era because you had guys like Austin kicking ass, Rock kicking ass, Undertaker, Kane, Mankind. It just wouldn't have worked in that Attitude Era where so many people would have been above him and his character that he would have been in the mid-card. He probably would have been a decent mid-card, but that's about it, really. He just wouldn't really have flourished as much as he would have done in the PG era where, you know, he's obviously one of the only sort of stars that WWE have and built. Do you agree with that?
Okay, next question.
Oh, okay then. Yeah. Here is my fave 5 of current WWE superstars. Chris Jericho, CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, Wade Barrett, and Dolph Ziggler. What's yours? And Jay, we'll start with you.
Well, we have Triple H, Kane, Wade Barrett, Punk, and if I had to come up with another one, it would be, for comedy-wise, Santino!
Fuck that. With me, my fave 5, number 1, obviously, Cody Rhodes. How could you go wrong with Cody Rhodes? Number 2 is Wade Barrett. Number 3 is Sheamus. Number 4 is CM Punk. And number 5, I do like this guy, The Miz. That's my fave 5. Any order, Cody Rhodes has to be number 1, of course. I'm a Cody Rhodes mark number 1. If he wasn't number 1, it wouldn't make any sense. The rest of the other 4 can fight for the spots. That's still my fave 5.
Yeah, like, again, we could both agree with Wade Barrett. The Miz, well, like I said, I would have chosen him, but obviously, again, I just think he needs to be repaired of all these problems and back to the main event scene. Fuck
you, WWE, for blaming the Survivor Series buy-out on him and giving him a losing streak since December. Fuck you, WWE, for that. Mr. Griffin, the YouTuber Mr. Griffin, go check Mr. Griffin out. I heard from a rumour mill that originally Shawn Michaels vs. Vince McMahon at WrestleMania 22 was not the original plan, as the plan was going to be Shawn vs. Eddie Guerrero. Is this true, and would you have liked to have seen this match? I don't hear any news on this, but that's a dream. That's the dream match. Shawn Michaels vs. Eddie Guerrero. What a match that would have been.
The elbow drop versus the frog splash, the way they perform again, the way they don't have the similar moves, but they are actually two great wrestlers. That Eddie Guerrero's obviously getting into the main event. Shawn Michaels being the big wrestler he is. It would have done great for Eddie Guerrero and been an overall great match.
However, I will say this. Shawn Michaels vs. Vince McMahon was a bigger draw. As much as Shawn versus Eddie would have been a great wrestling match, I don't think it would have been as much of a draw as Vince McMahon versus Shawn Michaels. Just saying.
Well, with Vince McMahon having the big storylines of putting people over and obviously getting involved with the big wrestlers in the WWE, he needed this match. And again, as you saw, it was a good match for both. And
it was a good match, but in a different way to what Eddie Guerrero and Shawn and Eddie Guerrero would have been a 5-star wrestling match. Shawn versus Vince was a 5-star storytelling match, which led up to the finish brilliantly. That's all we'll say about that one. Custom Trons 2011, you're a year too early on that one, brother. If you could have a WWE push 5 people to mid-card and 5 people to main event, who would the 10 superstars be? We'll start with mid-card. Think of undercard guys. Alex Riley, number 1.
You say Alex Riley. I say this just because I think maybe keeping his comedy gimmick, I say Santino back from where he was back to the Intercontinental Championship area, or US.
Funky don't know no. Funky no. Oh, the Funkasaurus, number 3 for me.
Justin Gabriel.
Justin Gabriel is a good shot. Trying to think of, because this is the 5th and final pick, so I've got to be a bit decisive with this. I like to see Ted DiBiase in the mid-card. I do think he would do well in the mid-card.
Well, we do talk about him being a future IC champion, so he would be a good one, yes.
And 5 people to main event. Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes. Definitely Cody Rhodes. Has to be Cody Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
Then we have, again...
who can you take from the mid-card?
This is a bit sad.
It is, because there's not really many people there, is there?
The one I would have said, but the book has been awful, is Drew McIntyre.
Drew McIntyre is a guy that I'd love to push the main event. I mean, to be honest, you could say guys like Barrett, Sheamus, but they're kind of in the main event already,
Pretty much there now.
R-Truth is a guy.
R-Truth, he's, again, not the one who can see as a credible champion, but he's been involved in big storylines, big wrestlers to get there, so probably him, yes.
Dolph Ziggler is another one for me. I know he's kind of in the main event, but he is essentially another mid-carder. Needs to be in the main event at some point.
Yeah.
Can you think of anyone else? From the mid-card?
From the top of my head, that seems to be it. Like, they're pushing Kofi, but that's a temporary thing, so no.
I mean, the issue here is really for us is that what talent do we have that's really flourishing in the mid-card, apart from maybe a Cody Rhodes, who is really deserving of a main event push? I mean, separating mid-card from upper mid-card kind of thing. That just really just shows the lack of roster that WWE has.
That's what I was going to say. The mid-card, the possible champions go for the US and Intercontinental are pretty low, so it's hard to pick who would be pushed up to the main event. Alex
Riley should definitely be pushed to the main event, though. That's just my opinion, even though he's not on TV. Thank you very much, WWE. Push the fucking guy equals ratings. Ratings show that. And do you think Daniel Bryan is doing a good job as a heel, and does he deserve to keep the title? Do you watch?
Yeah.
Do you watch our SmackDown reviews? By the way, did you know I'm a vegan, and I'm a role model, and everyone out there should be a vegan, and I should organise PETA protests. And to be honest with you, they've not done a bad job. It's just that I don't think WWE have given him the best to work with. I mean, ratings on SmackDown are doing pretty well at the moment. Do I think he deserves to keep the title? With his booking and build, I would say no, but they don't really have much choice at the moment with guys like Orton and Henry injured. And just remember, we're recording this just before Elimination Chamber.
We are. With my opinion with Daniel Bryan, slap the mic out of his hand.
Make him wrestle every week.
His ring skills are good.
Make him aggressive. Make him instead of chicken shitting out of everything. Make him keep the label lock on. Injure people. Tap them out. Submission. Anything. Keep the song.
That's the way I see it. Again, Mike's skills. I've said before. Very boring. In ring. He's seen good matches. Him as the champion. I personally would like to see it taken off him and him to rebuild himself.
Give it to Henry. Give it to Mark Henry and have him face Sheamus at WrestleMania. But it's probably not going to happen. If Air Boom splits, which they will, and they have. What would you do with Kofi? Mid-card. I mean, what can they can't make him put him in the main event. They have to just put him in the mid-card. I'd love to see him in another tag team, but I mean...
Well, the way I see it, he's been a good tag team partner for Evan Bourne, but he was also a good IC champion, United States champion, and did really well with that. So put him back with that, and obviously people working on him as the champ. I mean, it would be good.
That's really all you can do with it, put him in the mid-card, isn't it?
Pretty much with it.
Randy Orton stopped any main event push Kofi Kingston was going to get. Thanks, Orton. Stupid, fucking stupid! That's something you're not, NJ. Who would you book to win Royal Rumble and Money in the Bank matches this year? Well, Royal Rumble has been, and I think Sheamus was the correct person to win Royal Rumble. You?
Again, yes, he may get there in another way, but I'm going to say Wade Barrett.
Yeah, I mean, 2 people there. And Money in the Bank, who could really use the Money in the Bank at the moment? I mean, Dolph Ziggler, Cody Rhodes. You know, those 2 stand out for me.
Yeah, it's hard. It's kind of thinking who's in the mid card that obviously could use this chance to get back up. But again, the mid card is pretty low, as we said earlier, but so it's not really possible.
I mean, I know I'm a Cody Rhodes mark, but to me, Cody Rhodes has had a very good 2011. He's been consistently booked, consistently made a part of the TV show, consistently given mic time. I think he would probably be the best person to take that Money in the Bank. Personally, that's just me.
I thought like we had Wade Barrett win the Rumble, Cody Rhodes winning the Money in the Bank. It would work out perfectly that way.
What would you do with Drew McIntyre? Turn him babyface to start with, get him on TV a bit more, make him win some matches, and maybe, I don't know, put him in a fucking feud with someone?
With Drew McIntyre, again, when he first came in, he had things going for him. We could see the future, we could see him actually building up storylines. Now, I just think he needs, not exactly what he had, because he's gone past that now. He just needs something that makes him ready to obviously move on from where he's at.
Yeah, because the guy has potential that WWE really aren't putting into at the moment. Bryan Nelson, what is the best storyline in WWE history and TNA history of all time? Factoring in that we haven't really watched enough of TNA to really answer this, WWE for me probably had the best storylines. You say yours first.
The first one that came to my mind is the Nexus.
Yeah, I think Triple H HBK could have been a massive contender for that kind. It was a good storyline while it lasted.
The whole, again, people may disagree. The Ric Flair going through wrestlers to retire and then building up to Shawn Michaels.
That was a very good storyline. Undertaker, Shawn Michaels was another great storyline. Hogan versus Michaels at SummerSlam 05 was another good storyline. Vince McMahon versus Austin was a massive storyline, along with Andre the Giant versus Hogan at WrestleMania 3. They're the two biggest drawing.
Well, the two I'd say is the whole Titan involvement, again, because obviously that led to stuff, and also the HBK and Bret Hart back then, the screw job thing, because obviously they all had big things to do with the WWE.
Yeah, and Rock and Stone Cold was a decent storyline. Just a shame it only happened at Mania and never really had a prolonged feud, but those are some really good storylines. The best one to me would probably have to be Vince versus McMahon or Andre versus Hogan for what they did for the company. You can pick elsewhere, but
I'm going to say, again, mine's more now a time, and I'm going to say, the past one would be the Bret Hart thing.
Yeah.
Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels.
That did a lot of the business.
Would be Ric Flair and Shawn Michaels.
That was a very good feud. Just the lead up with Ric Flair and everything, then Shawn Michaels being the sort of ultimate guy for Ric Flair to go against. That was very good. I'll give it that. Taker versus Shawn was good as well, though. Got to give it that. Duke THS, the guy that remixed us and did a couple of tracks for us. Which members of the YWC would each of you like to see in one of my auto-tune remixes, and which videos of the other YWC members come to mind? The first one that comes to mind for me is Vente Kid. Live from my mother's basement, it's Johnny! Remix that shit.
You say that, I say Dreamboy899.
What did he do that you like?
No, it's just that obviously with him being as credible, as good he is on YouTube, I'm just thinking, obviously if they work with him and give him a remix, I think it would be good to hear, and obviously just I would like to see happen.
Definitely two deserved YouTubers there, Duke THS, of your remixing abilities. We'll put remix. 81 Kason 01. How would you book the NWO angle in the invasion angle? Well, to be honest with you, you'd have the NWO against WWE, essentially, and you'd just make the WCW and ECW part of that whole thing. You'd have NWO at the forefront of going against... You'd have the NWO going up against Rock, Austin, Triple H, blah, 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 and WCW and ECW kind of at the bottom with everyone else.
Well, the way I see it, WCW, ECW, they could use the NWO as their big wrestlers in their faction. So I'm thinking it would have been against NWO, ECW, WCW versus WWE, which would really help the storyline be a lot better than what it was.
Yeah, but of course Vince had to bury their company, so he was never going to bring in the NWO. It would have been a great... I mean, the biggest draw was Hogan of the Monday Night ratings, Monday Night Raws, and the biggest reign for WWE was Austin. You never really ever got the chance to put them two in the ring together, and this would have been a good opportunity to do that, especially in the invasion angle, which really had a lack of real interest because they never really brought in any credible, and it could have stretched to WrestleMania where you could have probably had Hogan versus Austin in a match together.
So what I'm going to say to you for asking that question, it's good that you're thinking of obviously having that actually happen, so I'm going to say good question.
But he could bring them in just after the to inject poison in the WWE. He could bring them in at the beginning of 2002, just after the invasion angle finished.
Could have been an idea to you.
Stupid. But there you go. That's Vincent Man for you. Love to bury the competition. That's not necessarily a good or a bad thing. Mr. NRS85. I would like to see Show win it at the Elimination Chamber, then have him and Sheamus at Mania for the title. I think it would be a great match. Do you? Well, bearing in mind we are recording this before Elimination Chamber, and this will probably be uploaded after Elimination Chamber. Big Show versus Sheamus, would that really be a match you'd want to see?
One thing about that first, two faces. So if you're going to turn Big Show heel, thumbs up. Because I think the Big Show is better off as a heel. But again, a match I want to see. Yeah, there are many people that like Big Show. And again, it would fix his old other title reign that was only a few seconds. But it's not actually a wrestler that I want to see headlining WrestleMania.
Sheamus versus Henry would be the best match for me. I know it's not going to happen anymore because of the injuries, but I'd love to see if Mark Henry went on that heel run that he was on and had all that going for him without the injury, him and Sheamus would have been a good match, but that's not going to happen, I don't think. But Big Show versus Sheamus isn't really a match I'd like to see.
With Mark Henry, again, their feud never actually finished because they kept getting counted out, put through the announce table and all that. So Mark Henry Sheamus would have been a better match, obviously, with Mark Henry being the strong heel, Sheamus being the strong baby face. Yes. It would have been a perfect match.
And to also answer another couple of your questions, I'd have Sheamus win if they were going to play together, and I'd do heel versus face with a heel Big Show, personally. Be the best way to do it. One more question before we leave. Name 3 dream matches you would love to see. I think 2 that come off the barrel for me are Hogan Austin, because 2 massive draws that never really had a match together. Brett versus Kurt Angle, technical clinic between them 2. And what would you think?
Again, it's kind of hard to think because obviously with the dream matches, again, there's not actually like some that come to mind because obviously the matches that I want to see have actually pretty much happened. So again,
any superstars together you'd like? I mean, Triple H and someone maybe. Triple H and Macho Man Randy Savage or something like that?
Yeah, I think Triple H should have maybe faced a big icon because he's the biggest thing now. So if he faced someone big in the other eras, again, it would have made a big match. So Randy Savage would have been a strong match, yes.
I mean, for me, another match I'd like to see, you had the second top babyface or draw of the golden era, Randy Savage, against the second top babyface of the Attitude Era, The Rock. That would have been a good match in my opinion. You'd have had the two top babyfaces or the 2 top guys of each era going up against each other. I think those have been 2. And Brett versus Angle would have been a fantastic technical match.
Again, it would be that. But also, we have to use, again, what would be good is maybe having, like we said in one of our past, Shawn Michaels and Eddie Guerrero. Like that question we got was very nice.
Mr. Griffith, yeah.
Yeah, so I really agree with that one as well, yes.
Yeah, I mean, there are so many dream matches that never happened. I mean, you give us some of your dream matches down below because we do these off the top of our heads. So if you can think of any, please suggest them to us. But anyway, that has been it from another Q&A. After 17.5 minutes, NJ, a bit shorter than the last one, but that's been another Q&A from me, Mr. Parkin, of course. Make sure you keep sending us your questions in, whether you want to comment them down below, inbox to us, or Facebook them to us. Please keep getting your questions, as we do want to continue this Q&A. Keep giving us your thoughts on the answers and questions we get down in the comment section below. Be patient for your questions, guys, and this is how we do things at the British Fish. Take it away, NJ.
All I'm going to say, people, is thank you for tuning in for another video from us. It's been fun answering your questions, so keep them coming so we can keep on enjoying, so you can keep enjoying our videos. And all I can say now is thank you very much. Until next time, people, goodbye.